Welcome back to Wine, Whiskey, and Words, the podcast where we drink boldly, talk loudly, and treat mild opinions like they're doctoral theses. I'm Brad, your host, a man with a glass permanently attached to his hand, thoughts that absolutely did not need to be shared, and just enough confidence to share them anyway. My therapist calls it a lot. I call it content. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host Daniel, a man who has never once watched a movie just for fun. He Googles while he watches, pauses to explain symbolism you didn't ask about, and once, stopped the thriller at the 40-minute mark to deliver a 7-minute monologue about what a lampshade represented. A lampshade.
I love lamp.
He is the whiskey to my wine, the footnote to my gut reaction, and tonight he will absolutely ruin at least 3 movies for you in the best possible way. Together, we've tackled the questions that keep humanity up at night, like whether chemistry or low expectations make a better first date, whether phone addiction is real, or we're just collectively avoiding eye contact, and why we feel like idiots at 2 a.m., but absolute geniuses at noon. Daniel insists there's symbolism in that. I think we're just tired. But tonight, we go dark. We're talking about psychological thrillers, the films that mess with your head, make you question reality, and leave you lying awake at 2 a.m. wondering if you're the unreliable narrator of your own life. Spoiler, you might be. We're covering the twists that broke our brains, the slow burns that made us sweat, and the endings that made us go, wait, what? And then immediately text someone about it. Daniel has color-coded notes. I have a full glass and a theory I haven't thought all the way through yet. So pour something strong, lock your doors, check the shadows, and maybe don't make any big decisions tonight. This is Wine, Whiskey, and Words, where the pours are heavy, the plot twists are inevitable, and Daniel has thoughts about your lampshade.
I feel like I should be doing like the slow clap.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Continue, Brad.
No, that's that.
Oh, that's the intro.
That's the intro.
Oh,
Yeah.
what do we usually do with this?
When I say this is Wine, Whiskey, and Words, that's the end part of it.
Yeah, I never listened.
Yeah.
All right. Tonight we're drinking wine and whiskey. Gonna be some
I've
words.
got the words.
What's the word, Brad?
The bird. Bird is the word.
Oh my God! I saw we're fast forwarding to something interesting. Actually, do you want to introduce the drink?
Sure. Yeah. So, a regular of mine at work introduced me to a bourbon that he found to be interesting last time he was at ABC, Dancing Panda. So I went in and I bought the 4-year and the 8-year. So apparently, like a lot of places that you go to, they don't necessarily make their own bourbon. They'll source it from other places, and then they can make their own blend or whatnot. But Dancing Panda, the 4-year, so both of them are apparently a 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley. But this one's aged 4 years, and this one 8.
So this is the 4.
This is the 4.
Now. So right away, like the nose is really sweet. Like I don't like. Sometimes you'll have a whiskey where you get a lot of burn on the nose.
Right.
I don't get any burn at all.
Yeah, and my sense of smell is not what it used to be right now because the pollen is killing me, and you can probably hear it in my voice.
I'm getting like a very strong vanilla, but like a little hint of nutmeg, maybe.
Yeah. A little bit of like a maraschino cherry.
Yeah, especially when you drink it. It's got wow, it's amazingly smooth for a young bourbon like this.
Yeah.
That's delightful. Wonderful. Fabulous. Brilliant. Beautiful expression.
He's going on and on because I give him shit because he uses the word delightful.
It's an
way
underutilized
too often.
word. So I don't love the nose as much on the was it 8-year? I mean, it's good.
It's a lot smoother.
It's a lot more caramel, if you will.
Yeah. And you get a lot more of the caramel um, afterwards as it lingers.
This one's a lot more spicy. Like the 4 years really like
Yeah, I
soft.
I get that. Well, I think it's also because the 4 year has a lot more heat.
Yeah, but like this has more spice to it, and I don't know. Usually I like a little spice, but I think tonight I'm more a 4 year guy.
I like them both.
Yeah,
I think
they're actually really good. I love the bottles. This little
yeah.
dancing panda is really cute. I do kind of wish, and I get the cost and the whole complexity of it, but like I wish they had leaned in a little more and gone with like the collectible, and maybe they have. I don't know. We only have 2 bottles here.
Right.
But, like you know how what's it
Dip
called?
Blanton's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Blanton's has their little collection.
Yeah.
But maybe that's when
Is there anything different?
they look identical to me. But
Maybe
anyway,
there's secret coding.
yeah, I like it
I
though.
don't know.
It's a
Yeah.
good one. All right, Brad. Something interesting. Oh, shoot, I forgot what was interesting. What was interesting?
Um,
We were talking about something.
what were we talking about?
I don't know.
Hey, Kirsten, what were we talking about? Okay,
She's busy.
she's working.
Wow, we actually had somebody. We have a guest.
Yes.
No, like let's do something interesting. Maybe you start with your something interesting, and I'll remember what my something interesting was.
Um. Well, I mean, I could say something interesting that happened at work.
What happened at work?
You were told about it.
Yeah, but
So
they weren't.
one of my managers got sucker punched. Um, because so there was a guy at the bar, and he had his head down, and so he went up to him, and he was just like going, "Hey, buddy, are you okay?" And
Nice little tap on the
the
shoulder.
guy just got up, just like this, put on his glasses, and then punched him.
Yeah, he said like
And
it like made his nose bleed, right?
yeah, end result, um, the police were called in. They went after the guy. Apparently, the guy was boasting throughout the night how rich his father was, and but apparently he got tased a few times.
Nice,
Yeah, so he
nice.
put up a fight.
Wish we could have had the video.
Yeah,
We could yakety sax it.
yeah. Um, I'm going to be moving.
Yeah.
Um, because my place wants to raise the rent, and there's just too many apartment complexes that are offering deals right now. So I
Yeah. I mean,
gotta do it.
this is the pitfall of apartment complexes. Like they raise the rent every year, and they're like, oh, why do these people keep leaving? And I guess it's because like they'd rather have somebody that's willing to pay more if you leave. Um, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but realistically, if they just you know did a happy medium between them two, there would be more retention.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, it's the way of the world. Well, my something interesting is it's not the thing I was gonna say. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot what it was.
Maybe this is what you're gonna say, but you just forgot it.
No,
And you're
I
saying
know
it.
it wasn't this, but my something interesting. I've been telling Brad and everybody that cares to listen to me a lot about it. We had our AI probably about this time last year, our conversation about AI,
Yeah,
and in the last just few months, AI has really changed a lot and improved a lot, and especially in the last year, it's improved like night and day. And so I've really started to lean in to see what AI can do for me, and I have to say it is blowing my mind how effective it can be as a partner in building things and learning things and teaching you things um, that you might not otherwise know. I still think the risks are there that it's going to tell you something wrong or hallucinate as they put it. But yeah, like I've been using it almost every day, having very long, deep conversations with it about certain projects I'm working on, um, using it for everything. And I think where I was a little bit skeptical and disappointed about it last time we talked about it. I think now I'm starting to drink the Kool-Aid a little bit.
It's really wild.
Yeah, it's amazing what it can do, and I think if you ask it to do your work for you, like we hear about these lawyers who are like, yeah, write a brief for me, and it makes things up. I feel like karma's kind of biting you. Like it's like, well, if you're not going to actually put any effort into this, I'm not either. But the way I'm working with it is more collaborative. I ask it to just help me structure and reframe and guide and improve. I give it my work and just ask it to help make it better, or give me guidance on how to structure things that I don't know how to structure, and it's a really powerful tool. So
Yeah.
that's probably my big thing that I've been something interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and I also forgot. I'm heading back to Illinois in
Woohoo!
June for a few days for a Grand Cru celebration. I don't know anything yet. I just know that I'll be gone for a few days.
And that I'm not invited.
Nope, you're not invited. Um, well, it's different. The last year was the celebration, big celebration for our 20 year, and this year it's specifically for those who have achieved Grand Cru, selling a lot of wine clubs, Cooper's Hawk. So
Doing a great job, Bard.
thank you, Peggy. So, but specifically with the AI that he's talking about, Claude. I don't know if you mentioned it. Um, the name of it, Claude.
Yeah, so
But
I had never used Claude until recently.
yeah, Claude is just like you. You will give it some instructions, give it a little bit, and it goes off. Like it gets to know you. Like I was telling Daniel earlier, so I went to ask it to tell me a little bit about these bourbons, and then it's going into detail about it, and then it actually added. It said, let me see, where does it say? It said, honestly, Daniel would probably find deep symbolism in that panda. Brad would just open the bottle. I'm like going, this is very true, but what? Why did it add that? It just goes off on its own.
Did you tell it that this was for our podcast?
No.
Oh wow.
I said, tell me about the company who makes Dancing Panda bourbon, as well as the tasting notes on the 4 and 8 year.
Yeah, I got nothing.
That's
man.
it.
Maybe it knew. Maybe it knew because I had been asking for guidance on the podcast show notes, and maybe it knew that you were on my Wi-Fi and said, "Oh, well, obviously
I
they're
don't
hanging
know.
out together." I don't know, man. That's wild. I find that like the trick is that first question you ask it, like be really specific about like the context in which you're asking it, why you're asking it, what exactly you want, like what kind of answer. Like if you want a funny, just fun answer, ask for that. If you want something that's very serious and well researched, ask for that. And I think it's really interesting to like just have that conversation and say, I don't really like this. Can you improve it this way and tweak it this way? And yeah. So, all right, that's enough about Claude.
Okay.
All right,
On to the topic.
the
Right?
topic. Yes. So this
Yes.
was my topic.
Yes.
And this whole topic actually began because I watched one of the movies that's on my list and thought, wow, this is a much darker telling of this story than I remember ever having seen. I had seen some relatively dark ones, but my movie was Joker, and it was from
Okay.
a couple years ago, 2019. Basically, it's kind of like a like Joker minus. There's no Batman at all, but it's definitely like set in Gotham. Like this is supposed to be.
Okay. But just to dial back a little bit, the topic is psychological
Well,
thrillers.
I'm getting there.
Okay. Fine.
I'm getting there. So like, what it is like this is a picture of a very tormented man who has a weird like psychological thing where laughs at inappropriate times. And as you're watching it, there are things that occur or things that are said, and you go, oh, like that kind of makes sense. But at the same time, the other side of your brain is going, that's kind of crazy. But it has you like questioning your sanity as you're watching it, because when he does awful things, violent things sometimes, you're like, yeah, I mean, I could see myself doing that. Like it really hit a nerve with me, but at the same time, it was really dark. But like I found it very entertaining. Now I will say, do not watch the second in this little storyline about Joker. It is a disturbing disappointment. Um, but I do think Joker with Joaquin Phoenix and Robert De Niro, the first one, was that obviously it was the inspiration for this. Apparently, Joaquin Phoenix lost 52 pounds for the role. He looks like a meth addict. Like he's withering away. Um, when he laughs in this film, because his psychological condition is that like he laughs when he can't express his frustrations and his other feelings. Um, he's crying, like, and it just twists your brain watching it. I remember, who was the guy that played Joker before and like committed suicide or overdosed or whatever? Heath Ledger. Gosh, this is great. It's like AI over there.
Yeah.
It's like we got our own AI. It's just the woman behind the curtain. But no, like Heath Ledger, like I remember, like he got into the role so much that like it just drove him to insanity. And then like to watch this performance, which made Heath Ledger look like pretty light. I'm surprised Joaquin Phoenix doesn't have like lasting psychological damage from this film. So,
or who's to say he doesn't?
and he may. So yeah, that was one. That's one of my movies. What you got, Brad?
I've got and just to dial back again, because I don't think it was necessarily said. We're talking about strictly psychological thrillers, things that aren't necessarily, like horror or violent, but just things that really kind of fuck with your head.
Yeah, just like dark in a way that like makes you question things.
So, my first one is a movie that I love and I watch at least once every year or every other year, Dark City. So, I don't know if you ever saw that with Kiefer Sutherland.
I don't know that I have.
No? Okay. So, the I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna read a little synopsis that I got from Claude here. Uh, so a man named John Murdoch wakes up in a bathtub in a grimy, perpetually night-drenched city with no memory of who he is. Things get worse immediately. There's a dead woman in his hotel room, a razor near his hand, and a frantic call from a stranger warning him to run before the police arrives. As Murdoch flees, he begins to notice something deeply wrong with the city itself. Every night at midnight, everyone falls unconscious simultaneously, and when they wake up, the city has physically rearranged itself. Buildings shift, streets move, and people's entire identities and memories are swapped out like furniture. So behind this are the strangers. They're kind of pale, long-coated beings with telepathic abilities called tuning, who are able to restructure the reality. Uh, they're trying to study us and find out what makes us human. Um, Kiefer Sutherland plays this professor or whatnot that they had forced him originally to remove a bunch of his memories and then just basically serve them by helping them take memories from some and then mixing them up and putting them into other people. Uh, but so Murdoch eventually finds himself able to uh, do the tuning himself and finding out where he really is.
Interesting.
That the rare to me that really the thing that screws with your head is imagine waking up one day not knowing who you are,
Yeah.
or knowing that if something goes wrong, everything who you are will be gone and replaced by someone else. So, does that mean that you actually kind of died? Your personality is gone.
Yeah, so like the insomnia arc is always like you can do some really like lame things that are just very like, oh, okay, another insomnia film, but like if you do it well, it always makes you really think about like what that experience might be. I mean, I can think of times when for one reason or another I woke up and didn't know where I was. I knew who I was.
Probably had to do with a bit too much of this.
Sometimes I was just tired and I woke up and like my brain just couldn't process where I was because I'd been in hotels too many times. But like I think about how disturbing that initial feeling is and the shock of it. Like I can't even imagine like not having any bearing on like who you were, why you were there. Um, I actually this has prompted maybe something interesting. I'm reading a book right now that one of the components of the story is people are being killed and having their consciousness and memories written onto like computer chips.
Okay.
And so there's this whole like question of like, well, your body is dead, but you as a person in your mind still exist to some point. Like, are you still a person or have you died? Like, what's the like? There's all
So
this.
I read a book probably 20 years ago that kind of dealt with that and about like the I think it was called The First Immortal,
Okay.
and it was basically about that. Really interesting stuff.
All right. Anything else about Dark City?
No, it's just I recommend it. It's a really wild movie with the visuals. It's just
All
very
right.
dark movie in its tone.
So that one sounds a little obscure. I've never actually heard of it, I don't think. But this is one I think I mentioned to you last week or last time, and you had not heard of it. The movie Pi, and it's the if you ever see a black case or a case for a movie with the symbol for pi on it, that is the movie. And it's a really B movie. They probably spent like $18 to film this movie. It's all in black and white. It's very grainy. But basically, you have this like math genius guy who is completely convinced that this number he found in the stock market is the key to the universe or the key to like understanding the universe. And it like delves into because he's Jewish. It delves into like Kabbalah. So there's like elements of that. Um, there are all these people that seem to be after him, and like basically discovering the key, this key like drives him to insanity. And so you're watching this like man just lose his grip on reality and everything. But at the same time, you're wondering like, is he losing his grip on reality, or has he truly like discovered this key to the universe? And um, it it's not a thriller, I guess. Like I don't know. It just messes with your head. Like it really gets in there and screws with you. And it's not one that's you don't usually see it on TV and things. Probably because they don't have the symbol for pi in the guide. But if you get the chance to watch it, I highly recommend it. It's totally um, internal the struggle. Like there's not a lot of characters in it. There's probably 20 people total. Um, but there's a lot of like weird visuals. It's almost like you're on a bad trip or something. So
Cool.
yeah, highly recommend. Go, Brad.
Uh, so my next one is called Companion.
Oh, it's on my list.
Is it?
Yeah, great
I
movie.
When I saw it on the list, I was searching about thrillers, and I saw that, and that sounds interesting. And then I was like, when I saw a picture of it, I was like, oh yeah, I've seen it. Um, so it's a story about this woman and her boyfriend Josh, who they go to a vacation at a remote lake house with a few different people, and uh, long story short, she ends up killing this billionaire Sergey, Um, and then you end up finding out that she's actually not human. She's a very advanced robot. Um, I'm not going to go into too much detail because you really need to watch this movie because it's very well made. Josh is played by um, I'm trying to remember his uh, he's the son of uh,
Jack Quaid.
yeah, Jack Quaid, Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Um, and you think he's like this innocent. Spoiler alert, he's not. Um, but I really need to watch that movie again. It's that good.
Yeah,
It
it
really is.
really like it's kind of interesting that like we were talking about AI and now we're talking about AI again. Like it really makes you question that bridge. Like where does something become truly a self-aware and independent entity, and where is it just a robot?
And you end up being like she finds the program for her, and she's able to ramp up her intelligence.
Yeah.
And it's the thing that she discovers that she isn't who she thought she was, and then what she's able to do to gain her own independence.
Can you imagine like it makes you think like so we're having all these conversations with Claude and we're having it help us with things and like what would happen if like Claude suddenly started believing that it was like an independent entity and then learned that it's just this engine that like is
Right.
being driven by your guidance and
It probably just tell me to go fuck myself.
but actually when you think about it like aren't we all that way? Like can't somebody prompt us into saying something that we might not otherwise say just because we're just easily manipulated?
I try to prompt Kirsten all the time, but she just tells me to go away.
I mean, that's what most of us have to do, Brad. So
What?
this next one is I don't like I kind of went round and round about including it, but it really makes you reflect on could this happen to me to the point where I I decided to include it, and it's one of my all-time favorite movies. It's got Michael Douglas and Robert
Yes, that's
Duvall. Uh,
what I thought.
Falling Down.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember. I distinctly remember him getting out of his car in the middle of the highway and just like you knew shit was gonna go down.
yeah, and it's like he's like just an everyday person who ends up
He was
like
like a postal worker or something,
yeah, like
wasn't he?
no, he was I think he was like a defense contractor or
Was he?
something. He was
Okay.
just but he was like a nerd. He's like the guy in like the black tie and the short sleeve white shirt. Think about Michael Douglas dressed as nerdy as possible, and just as he's trying to navigate his way like calmly and quietly across probably Los Angeles. I don't know where it's actually set. I don't remember. All these things keep happening, and he just gets more and more frustrated and angry.
You were you were absolutely correct.
Los
Laid
Angeles.
off, laid off defense engineer.
Oh, that's right. He was laid off, and like he just goes down this path, and the climax of the film is just unbelievable, and the way it builds is so well written. Um, it makes you so uncomfortable because you see yourself like, what if I lost my job? How mad would I be? And what if after I lost my job, my car broke down, and then like somebody tried to beat me up or whatever? Like we've all been there, and like it makes me think as I'm talking about this of another somewhat dark movie, Girl Interrupted, and like the girl says something that's like crazy as you and me amplified, and or something like that, and like it kind of connects with you. So
I would never interrupt a girl.
mhm.
I don't want to get beat.
Would our AI in the room like to comment? All right, Brad, you're up.
Um, this is an interesting movie that I came across. I haven't seen it, but I would definitely love to do it. It's called I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, you know it's going to be like a mind fuck when I tell you who directed it.
Who's that?
Charlie Kaufman. Charlie Kaufman, who did Being John Malkovich.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about a young woman traveling with a new boyfriend, Jake, to meet his parents at their secluded farm. And during the trip, she considers ending their relationship. But what ends up apparently happening is it starts going all over the place, future, past, um, exploration of memory. But you finally find out that the story, it's an elaborate fantasy from the mind of an elderly janitor, Jake, who is contemplating suicide. And
Interesting.
the woman in it was just someone that he saw once.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know, Brad. So you've never seen this movie? I
I've
don't know.
never seen it.
I
It
don't know
sounds
if this
interesting.
counts. You're gonna have to pick
It
another one.
sounds
That's it. You gotta pick another one.
fine.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to pick another one, man. It's fine.
I've got lots.
So I only chose 10. It took me a while to get to 10 just because I was having a brain block or something. But one of these movies is this next one is a movie that I really liked it, like loved it, but it was so disturbing in the way it was filmed and directed and written that I think I've only seen it twice because it just messed with my head. And that movie is The Cell with Jennifer Lopez and Vince Vaughn's in it also.
Hmm.
And basically, like Jennifer Lopez is like a psychologist, and she's got some sort of like thing that lets her get into the minds of a comatose patient and like converse with them and interact with them. Um, but there's this serial killer who has fallen into a coma, and they need to find his last victim. And so she agrees to enter this serial killer's mind that is just broken. Like it is a mess. And she kind of gets trapped in this mind and like starts to experience things and lose her grip with reality. And the imagery is just incredible, and you have this sense of like, again, it's that thing of like, what it, how am I empathizing with this person who is outwardly just a monster? But like as Jennifer Lopez experiences this person's memories and this person's thoughts, you get this deeper connection. And I just I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Like, but it's so good. Um, you always, if you ever think about like those impulsive thoughts you have sometimes that you would never act on, you would never voice them. But we all have those like moments where we think of something and you're like, ooh, where did that come from? Like, who am I? How did I get this twisted? But this film really like brings that to the surface and makes you acknowledge that in yourself as you're watching it. So yeah, highly recommend The Cell. It's hard to watch. It's from like 2000, I think.
Yeah.
So anyway, what you got next, Brad?
Next, seeing the name The Cell reminded me of another movie that I had seen, and I think I had Kirsten watch it recently with me. It's called The Platform.
Okay.
So I like those dystopian ones, and this is one where these people, and I can't remember if they're not necessarily criminals, but some people are criminals, some people are trying to work off debts, whatever, but they subject themselves to the platform. Platform, you have like, you don't know how many levels that you're on, but the you wake up each day. The upper level starts with all this kind of food and drink, a lot. You have 2 minutes to eat, drink whatever you can, and then it moves down to the next level until it gets down to the very bottom level. And they get whatever is left.
Oh wow.
So, but you can't grab anything and hold on to it. If you do, they'll start heating up the room
Oh
to the
wow.
point where you could end up dying.
Huh.
So it has to deal with Oh, and by the way, you end up switching like after I think 30 days or something like that. You're knocked out and you wake up on a different level.
Oh,
So you could be on the first level and then end up on the 80th or the 90th or 200th or whatever.
hmm.
Um, so it's interesting to see the interactions between those people and some other people that you end up getting to watch. You do end up seeing like it, not to get graphic, but one level urinating down on the other because you could
Yeah.
see these people.
Hmm.
So
So is it like a caste system type thing? Like,
I mean, kind of.
huh?
But I mean, the cast changes every 30 days.
Weird. Hmm. Yeah. What was it called again?
The platform.
The platform. Huh.
It's it was not made in the U.S. It's a Spanish film,
Okay.
so it's overdubbed. It's definitely worth watching.
I'll have to check that out.
You should.
So this next one I have is one that I actually found. I had heard of it, but it just didn't sound like my kind of thing. So I never even bothered to look into what it was about. But this is one I found when I started researching this topic, what, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
3 months ago.
Yes, it feels like it. It's American Psycho.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was looking for dark films,
I think
and
that was on
like
my list too.
American Psycho came up, and it's got Christian Bale in it, Willem Dafoe. It's got like Reese. It had a really good cast. But it, I was expecting like totally dark and twisted, and there are elements of it that are very dark and twisted, but it almost presents itself in like a satirical comedy type way. Like I don't know how to deal with this. Um, this it's like 1980s like Trump culture almost like where everything has to be shiny, everything has to be special. Like you're competing to see who has the prettiest business card, which is a whole theme in the movie. It's really twisted, and then like there's some things that go on that take it more down that thriller, like more to the thriller side. But throughout it all, there's this psychological element that like it just connects like American culture with like this is it almost tries to tell you like this is normal for American culture. If you take our culture and extend it out, this kind of behavior is just something we accepted and something we were okay with. And I I don't know that I loved the movie, but it definitely had me thinking, and
It's
it wasn't
definitely a thinking movie.
boring. And I like I said, I was happy to see that it wasn't just like a you know slash fest. It was actually pretty humorous.
Now, on a side note, have you seen the video with Huey Lewis where it's like that?
Stop. I remembered my thing. Don't forget Huey Lewis. Okay, I remembered my thing.
What's your thing?
So you said the bird is the word.
Yes.
I have this friend whose last name is Bird, and I don't remember how I got on it, but the other day I was trying to express that the bird is the word, and so I Googled to see if I could find like a video or like a music video or something. Which, in hindsight, that was way before music videos were a thing. But what I found was a video of a live like recording of him singing and dancing to the bird. And when I tell you the song you've heard on the oldie station is like lame, you're gonna be like, "What? That song is crazy." Watching this man dance is like you must Google "The Bird Is the Word" and find this video of this live performance. It is insane. It like the man. There were a lot of drugs involved. Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, Huey Lewis.
So there's that scene that occurs in Christian Bale's apartment with the having his coworker sit on the couch and everything.
Yes.
Okay. This is like almost same exact detail, with Huey Lewis and Weird Al Yankovic, and he starts talking about his song Hip to Be Square
Yeah.
and Al's version,
Uh-huh.
and then he ends up doing to Al what
Oh,
Christian
really?
Bale does. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So
Oh,
I'll in the show notes. I don't
you'll
I
link
don't
to it.
ever put a whole lot in the show notes, but I'll put a link to the YouTube video for that song.
All right.
So
What do you have
I
next
guess
for us,
next
Brad?
for me is so I'm gonna go with uh the game
I think I know this.
with
Tell me
Michael
more.
Douglas. So Michael Douglas and his brother is Sean Penn. And Sean Penn tells so Conrad tells Nicholas that he got him really a special gift for his birthday. It's a personalized real life game, and then so he tries to redeem the game, and it's nope, can't do it. But then he actually ends up in this elaborate like thing where he's running away and he kills people. People are trying to kill him, and then spoiler alert, you find out at the end that it was just a game and that everyone is still alive.
Oh.
And yeah, it was just a weird that he's running for his life.
I have seen this movie, but this is not what I thought it was. I was thinking
Oh, you're thinking
there's a
of
movie with like Anthony Hopkins maybe and
Anthony
like
Hopkins?
and Leonardo DiCaprio, like they're like in the woods, like
Really?
I'll have to look it up. No.
Well, I was thinking you made me think of the movie with Ice-T, which was um, a movie where he gets befriended by this guy. Ice-T's this homeless guy, and ends up telling him, "Hey, we can hire you on to just lead this group of hunters in the forest. You'll earn a lot of money." Um, and then it ends up what it is that they're actually hunting Ice T's character,
Oh.
which
Well,
is a fantastic.
that also
Uh,
sounds interesting.
so
That actually makes me think of that there was like a yes, the most dangerous game. You read my mind. See?
so the name of that movie is Surviving the Game,
Okay.
and it actually has Rutger Hauer
Oh,
in it and Gary Busey.
okay.
So it's
Sounds like a
dark.
wild wild ride.
It's dark, especially when you see like so before Ice T finds out that he's gonna be hunted, they're doing dinner, and you when you see Gary Busey start talking about looking at the pig, they're eating this pig, and you look at it and you stare into its soul, and then Gary Busey,
Well, he wasn't acting. He was just being Gary
he's
Busey.
being Gary Busey, but he's a powerfully weird motherfucker. And it's a wild, wild movie.
Okay. I'll have to check that one out.
All right, go.
My next one is a movie. I kind of accidentally watched it. I was just bored, and I love Willem Dafoe. Like, I think he is just the way he works his facial expressions, his intensity is just awesome. Boondock Saints, he was amazing. He's just, it's hard to find a movie that I don't love with Willem Dafoe in it. So I watched this. It's called The Lighthouse. Yet another black and white film. Um, Not because it was the age. I mean, this was a 2019 film. But basically, you have like this old lighthouse keeper and a younger lighthouse keeper who are stuck in New England on this island in a lighthouse in a storm. And like it's really weird because you have this um, interdependence like between the two of them because like like when you work a lighthouse, there's not a lot of support. So I'd imagine you take whatever companionship and support you can get. But as they drink and talk and experience time together stuck on this island, um, they get really violent, like and really twisted. It's like a very physical, like I don't know, like I can't even define what about it was so psychologically shaking because it really is more just like two men fighting one another. But like at the end of it, you're just left like with this weird like I don't know. it's so confusing emotionally that you just feel lost. And the movie itself, I don't know, is that dark and that psychological, but like it's almost like you create the psychological thrill of it. So I don't know.
Okay.
Good film. Good film.
Um, I hope you've seen this one because if you hadn't, it's an amazing movie. Us. So it's a story about Adelaide Wilson and her family who are attacked by a group of menacing doppelgangers called the Tethered.
I think I have seen
And
this
then you
movie.
see, and then they have friends that are visiting, and they're all being attacked by like their lookalikes, and it's kind of like a weird alternate dimension thing. And I will not give you the ending of this one because you absolutely have to watch it to see the twist at the end. But it's really a wild a wild thing about seeing yourself attacked by yourself.
Yeah, I feel like that would be weird. Like,
I mean, I know why I would attack myself, but
yeah, I mean, we'd understand.
yeah,
Makes me think of is it Liar Liar, where like the guy's like beating himself up, and somebody's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm kicking my ass."
right. That might
Sorry.
be it.
Um, yeah. So this one is actually a really famously popular movie, great book. But I love it because again, makes you question like how far would you go? Like what is normal and what are the things we accept? And it's Fight Club with Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, Helena Carter, and Meatloaf. Bob had bitch tits. Um, but yeah, like it's if you've never seen it, it's just this like everyday guy who on the surface he's flying around just being a normal office worker, and he encounters this Tyler Durden character who is seemingly everything he's not. He lives free. He does what he wants, and they start a literal fight club where they meet in basements and parking lots and proceed to beat the shit out of each other. Just random men just get together, and this is like cathartic release in lieu of psychological treatment.
Maybe that's what the guy over at
Yeah, maybe.
Riversock was trying to do.
Yeah, maybe that was Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
No, but I again, this is a movie that I don't want to spoil for you, but it's wild. It's got a lot of really memorable scenes and memorable moments, and it will make you'll probably be shocked a little bit if you've never seen it before or read the book. But it's actually one of the movies I would say probably worth watching the movie first. I didn't feel like reading the book afterwards. I was like, oh, this is so much better. I thought the movie was so well done that it
Hmm.
was just different. The book was different, but not really better. It was just equally good in a different way.
Yeah. There's really only a few instances where I can say that the the movie was on par with the book. Uh, and there's really only one instance that I can ever say that the movie far outshined um,
What's that for you?
um, Harrison Bergeron
I haven't
because
seen that
it's a Kurt Vonnegut
one. Okay.
very short story. It's literally like a page and a half or 2 pages,
Hmm.
but they made a full length movie out of it,
Wow.
starring Sean Astin,
Hmm.
and it's basically the story of in the future people people so often we're giving these participation trophies and whatnot, so that's think of like a civilization based on that. So
Okay.
whereas getting a C is what you strive for, you don't want to get an F.
Yeah.
If you get an A, they're going to go ahead and figure out a way to bring you down a little bit. Like
Yeah.
if you're too smart, they make you wear headsets that constantly burst static, depending on how smart you are. More static means you're more intelligent, so they want to disrupt your thoughts.
This is like This is like the curve-based performance ranking systems
Right.
that some corporations use. They're
So-
like, "Oh, you're too good. Let's bring you down to a 3."
If you're a very talented ballerina, they'll make you wear weights on your ankles. If you're a very talented quarterback, they'll have you wear weights on your arms to make it more difficult to throw.
Interesting.
But it was very, very interesting. They really took that premise and really stretched it out. But
Alright.
yeah.
All right, your turn, Brad.
Oh, okay. This is going to be the final one for me. Just because I had another one on my list called Fresh that I just finished watching, and ultimately, it was a decent watch, but I would never watch it again. It starred Sebastian Stan. He's basically a doctor who's also a cannibal, and he has a side business abducting women and then cutting them up and serving them to people. So it's an interesting premise, but anyways, my next choice is Get Out.
I think I've seen this.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So that was the one where, Chris and his girlfriend Rose, they're going to meet her parents, and at first everything seems great, but then he ends up discovering that they end up putting their friends' minds into bodies of younger people, and that's why Rose started dating him to be the next victim.
Oh.
So the really dark thought about that is, one, the thought of you losing yourself, losing who you are, but then on the flip side, if you're in that situation, who can you trust?
Yeah.
Because you don't know if the person that you're talking to is actually the person that you're talking to, or if there's some old white person.
So, it's really interesting. So many of these films, at least, not all of them, but most of them, they go down this path of like self-examination. Like what makes them scary or thrilling is self-examination. I actually had a situation last night where I was at a meeting and somebody wanted a decision to be made, and when people started asking questions and just asking for, simple things like evidence to support why we should make the decision, dude got really angry, like really angry. And I've seen this happen a lot. Like people who encounter opposition or encounter doubt about whatever they believe or want, immediately burst into these tirades and get furiously angry. And I feel like there's something about being forced or asked to question your own thoughts and your own beliefs that some people find like absolutely terrifying. I find it terrifying when it leads me down a disturbing path. But in general, it doesn't bother me. Some people, just the notion that they might not be right is so terrifying that they lash out.
I've never felt that.
You've never felt like you were right?
That I wasn't right.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm always right.
okay.
I'm always right.
I notice our friendly AI over in the corner is not helping in this particular notion.
I'm always right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think
She's
on
doing
that
this.
we're gonna call it a wrap. I think we had some good movies. Like I think we
Okay.
covered a lot of good ones.
And I did introduce Daniel to a movie that we are going to watch soon.
Yeah, we got to watch this.
Defending Your Life.
Yeah.
Which I've mentioned in a prior episode.
But that's more like a comedy. That's not that.
Oh,
doesn't fit with
it's
this
a
episode.
romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I love me a good rom-com.
Okay, so happening on Reddit.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah,
thing.
so I specifically did not want to choose this from Am I the Asshole one. I wanted to go a different route. So the title of this one is it's from Tales from Your Server. This couple forever changed how I interact with my tables. So In August of 2025, I, 18 female at the time, had this couple sit in my section. It was later at night, almost 8 o'clock, when I started serving them. The whole time I was serving them, it seemed to be going well. I got them their drinks, they ordered, I brought out their food, and I checked up on them, and everything was fine. They seemed to be slowing down, so I asked if they were still doing okay. That guy asked for a box and the check. Cool. I bring them a box and the check. I circled back around to find the wife with her hand up, holding the check and her card in the air. Not waving it, just sitting there. The husband was in the bathroom, so it was just her at the table. So I walked up and took their plates, and I asked if she was ready for me to run the card. She said, "Oh, you're paying attention to me now that my husband isn't here." And she handed me the card. I laughed because I thought she was joking and walked away. Then I thought about it and was like, is she implying that I'm flirting with her husband? WTF. I dropped off her card and said to have a good night, and she said something under her breath and shook her head. Then I was like, oh yeah, she definitely thinks I was flirting with her husband. And I couldn't understand why. They weren't the type of table that was joking or bantering with me or anything. The husband was the one that spoke up about like needing boxes or refill, but nothing beyond that. And again, I'm young. I'm not an outgoing person, and I most certainly do not have a flirty personality either. So again, I had no idea where she was getting any flirty vibes. Another thing to note, this guy seemed significantly younger than his wife. The guy looked like he was in his 20s, and she looked to be in her late 30s. Clearly, this was coming from a place of insecurity. She tipped me $4.51 on 33.48 before tax. So from then on out for a while after that, whenever I would get a table with a couple, I would make sure to make eye contact with the girl more than the guy because I was so scared of possibly giving off a flirty impression again. Now every time I serve a table, I'm overly aware of the amount of eye contact I make. She forever scarred me. The kicker is a few weeks ago, they came back in and were at the exact same table they were at last time, and I had to serve them again. Oh, you bet I was to make sure to acknowledge her. Make sure there was no flirtatious vibe at all. They were nice, and she paid and left me a little over 20%, if not 20%, exactly on the bill. I don't know if she remembered me or not, but I guess I redeemed myself.
Hmm.
Thoughts?
So I think that a lot of people have this weird notion that the things that happen in our lives, like, it's about us. And I would say at least 80% of the time, whatever happens in an interaction with actually even someone you know, a lot of it's not about you. Like, unless they say it's about you, it's probably not about you. I mean, I've been in fights with my first wife, been in fights with my current wife that I either behaved badly or I got the impression like she was just mad about something and like blew up on me about something else. So like it's not always about you. One of my favorite like internet videos is um, it's what's the guy's name? David Foster Wallace. This is water. Google David Foster Wallace. This is water. It's from a speech that was like a commencement speech at Harvard or something or Yale, and basically someone has taken it and like taken what he is saying or an excerpt from the speech and put like visuals. And at one point he talks about like standing in a line at a checkout after work in a grocery store and everybody's miserable, everybody's unhappy, and the um the checkout lady is just, she looks like the face of death, and she's miserable and she's just going through the motions, and you're making all this judgment, but what you don't realize is that the reason she looks like death is that her husband is on his deathbed in hospice, and she's spent every night trying to take care of him and be there for him, and she hasn't slept in days and like all this stuff. And so like I feel like that I feel a little sad. I mean, I hate that the woman had this impact on the server, but I feel a little sad for the woman because something has made her feel so insecure. Something in her life, whatever it is, has made her feel so insecure that she's going to lash out at someone because they maybe gave the husband a little more attention than she thought they should have. And I don't know. I guess that's all I got.
Well, I mean, the thing is that in the service industry, your servers are there to make your experience more enjoyable, more pleasurable, and we're there to, you know, make you feel good. Some people think that they're flirting with you when necessarily, sometimes maybe that's true. Maybe they are. But in some other times they're not. I
I
actually,
think you should always assume they are not.
yeah,
Like,
I had one time that I kid you not, this woman took a bottle and she stared me straight in the eyes and she went like this.
oh, Brad is making an obscene gesture with the liquor bottle. You can take that bottle home, sir. Um, so like,
I kid you not.
this was a guest while you were working, or is this a server?
This is a guest while I was working.
Okay.
She was staring at me in the eyes and making that gesture.
So like that is not uncommon. Like there's, I would say that as a patron of any establishment, if you are assuming without direct verbal confirmation that this is true, you are assuming that the person interacting with you at a business who is an employee of that business is flirting with you or coming on to you or interested in you, just assume you are wrong. Just you are wrong. Like, you begin with that premise and you will most likely always be right. If the person says, "Hey, you're really attractive, I want your number," then you can change your opinion. But until you get that, I mean, like, yeah, you got a pretty clear indication that something was.
Yeah.
But like most of the time, listen, the stripper doesn't love you. Okay, um, the bartender, they're just a good bartender. They don't really want to be your best friend. They're just
love you.
like, they might care about you if you're a regular a little bit, but at the end of the day, they don't.
I love you. I love you.
You're not getting my Bud Light.
I don't want Bud Light. That's disgusting.
You don't remember the commercial?
Huh?
I love you, man.
Oh, jeez. I don't want Bud Light.
All right. Yeah, that's all I got about that one.
Okay.
What's our topic next, Brad?
Well, being that the next time that we're going to record is going to be in the month of April, we're going to talk about practical jokes that went wrong. Mostly about things that other people did, maybe about things that we did. Not that I've ever done anything wrong.
Never.
So, that's what we're going to talk about.
All right. That seems like a good topic. Could have some fun with that.
Yeah. So, did it destroy people's lives? What happened?
Maybe we should make a dark movie about practical jokes that went wrong. Dun, dun, dun.
Outro!
All right, outro. Oh, yeah. Well, guys, we enjoyed drinking whiskey and words and wine. And I had wine. I realized at one point that I was drinking wine, not the whiskey that you brought.
You should mix it together.
So yeah, no, I don't do the. I'm not a big fan of like the bourbon barrel wine like that. No.
Well, they do that to make shitty wine taste better.
Yeah, it's like making sangria.
Wait, is this the 8-year or the 4? This is
the 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the 4. So, but no, we really enjoy spending this time with you. I know that we don't get a lot of comments and stuff, probably because some idiot hasn't been updating the website. But maybe I'll just get Claude to keep the website current.
Can you do that?
I can ask.
Okay.
But anyway, no, like we really do enjoy having listeners. I know we have at least one most of the time. Thanks, J-Dog. I don't know if you want your name on the podcast, but I appreciate you. But yeah, and I think my dad listens occasionally. That's
I
nice.
have people that listen. Kirsten listens.
That's because she's here. She can't help but
No,
listen.
no. on the app. There's been
Wow.
more than 37.
Anyway, no,
Okay.
we do appreciate you, and we want to thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you are first time hearing about this because somebody sent it to you or whatever, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram. Are we on Instagram?
Yeah,
Are we
I
on the
haven't done
Insta?
I haven't done a whole lot.
Okay.
I need to.
Yeah, but we are on wine. We are wine, whiskey, and words on all those. But our email is winewhiskeyandword@gmail.com.
Some douchebag took the other one.
You can find us at winewhiskeyandwords.com, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but again, we're gonna flog our web developer over his.
I don't know why I keep looking at here because I keep looking at you on the screen here.
I am a beautiful man, and I can't blame you for that.
You know what, Kirsten? We're done. I'm gonna be with Daniel now.
All right, guys. Anyway, we enjoyed you joining us, and hope you do it again. Cheers.
Cheers.